again and scored the 5th goal, and it was just amazing from PSG at the Parc des Princes yesterday.
Honestly, talking about hope, Mabubat, Dojila said, they scored back. Looks like, okay, let's give you hope to feel that maybe you can get something out of this game. And Paris Saint-Germain said, nah, we're not having that. We can remember what you did at the Club World Cup. Let's have this one for ourselves. 5-2. What worked for Luis Enrique and his boys on the night right there in Parc des Princes.
Okay, you see, the thing is that in this encounter, I feel that PSG needed the win. They wanted to remind the world that they still had it, particularly when they're going against a team that defeated them at the Club World Cup final. And if we're going to look at it, PSG had that advantage that and Chelsea did not have. If you take a look at the League On, one thing that they've always done that they postpone the league matches so the players can rest. Chelsea do not have that. Whenever they play the Champions League, they go back to play the Premier League and then back again. So it doesn't particularly give them the time to rest. And I'll say that Chelsea gave PSG a hard time, if you take a look at it properly. When they were, as at 73rd minutes, it was still 2-2. They fought for it until, I think, Kalasveka, sorry, his name again. Kalasveka, when he came on the pitch, he scored 2 goals. So I'll say that what costed Chelsea was individual mistakes from Fofana, from James, from Caicedo. So this team, they weren't particularly bad considering the situation whereby they were playing and also the individual mistakes from Jorgensen and the likes that cost them this defeat. So it wasn't as if Chelsea was so bad, but I had in mind that PSG were going to go all in for this, and they did.
Because
I'm sorry.
you want to correct something, right? Because remember that Paris Saint-Germain played against Monaco before this game, and they lost. Yes, they lost the game against Monaco. Yes, so we were talking about yesterday, saying maybe, come on.
But for me, it's a squad game.
Yeah.
Chelsea have loads of players in the Copa. They can prosecute games over the weekend.
Right. Are you a Chelsea fan? Because it looks like you're trying to, cover.
I'm not a Chelsea fan.
Okay.
I am not a Chelsea fan.
Are you hiding your club now? Okay, so what club do you support?
Real Madrid.
Ah, come on.
I support Real Madrid.
Beautiful. Let's talk about Real Madrid. Valverde getting an hat-trick in that game. Fantastic one. Nuruddin, trust me, I did not see Madrid picking up a victory against Manchester City yesterday. I ain't gonna lie to you. This was one game I was looking at and I'm like, what's happening to Manchester City? And you look at the next game. If we can have the next game for Manchester City, you're wondering, where do we go from here? There you have it. Nuruddin, Madrid, West Ham, Madrid next, Arsenal, Liverpool. If they get to qualify, it's going to be Atlanta or Bayern. You have Chelsea. You have the next game, and you have Arsenal again. It's a running fixture for Pep Guardiola, and they didn't get this one right against Madrid. Yesterday we're together, and I'm wondering how did Valverde get an hat-trick?
Everything went wrong. Remember yesterday we spoke about it. I said I expect Manchester City to be too strong with the injury problem and crisis Real Madrid have. Without Mbappe, I felt, okay, Man City coming from the victory in the FA Cup and the way Pep Guardiola is well grounded in this competition with his squad, I felt, okay, he should get the victory yesterday, even though it was a slim margin. But yesterday is the Champions League, and Real Madrid showed the reason why they are record holders of this competition. They turned out in style. Valverde got 3 goals. He could have gotten 4, missed a penalty in the second half. Great performance from Real Madrid. I wasn't expecting that, for real. They dissected, they went through Manchester City's defense in and out, and you could see the work of experience, on the side of Real Madrid. This is a big game. They played it that way, and for Manchester City, they had some players that have not been on this stage before. Antoine Semenyo was playing his first knockout Champions League. Gueye was playing his first Champions League. O'Reilly is not that well grounded yet, and Alan was nowhere to be found. They shut him out completely. So for Manchester City yesterday, yes, they had 1 or 2 chances in the end. Courtois was on top of his game. You expect him, when you see him against English sides, he turns to a demon. He doesn't want anybody to go past through him. So
let me ask, before we move on quickly because of our time, let me ask the Madrid fan sitting beside me now. Since Kevin De Bruyne has left Manchester City, it's been a struggle for Haaland, and it looks like that is our best friend, but it's not working out for Haaland again. For your team, Madrid, were you expecting this victory against Manchester City?
Honestly, I would say I wasn't expecting this victory because consider the fact that they are without Kylian Mbappe, because Mbappe has been the one scoring most of the goals for the team. I wasn't expecting the win, but I love the performance. I love the fact that they know that this is a match that they have to win, and they have history against Manchester City, and they were able to pull the forces together and make sure that they actually can, came up with this win. And I said that it's just that we tend to see a different shade of performance from Real Madrid, and they know that this is a match that we have to win. They know that they have to, create the chances, fire in the goals, and keep their defense tight. And I love that. When they were going against Manchester City, the defense, they were able to, dismantle the Manchester City defense, and that was something that I was proud seeing as a Madrid fan, and personally as a football enthusiast. I love the work they did, and I think that is something that Pep Guardiola would need to solve with his team, because the defense itself was not there. They are vulnerable defensively, Manchester City, I mean. So for my own on my own term, I do not see Manchester City coming back from this, because assuming that scored a goal, it would have been something. But 3 goals. And considering this Manchester City side, I don't think so. I think it was like 3 years or 4 years of Manchester City. And I said that, okay, they had a chance. We don't know what can happen. But this side, I don't see them come back from it.
For me, Man City still have a stay in the
Okay, definitely. We're going to be talking about that. Next week, the second leg is upon us, and definitely some teams need to turn the result around quickly. We got a update that Iran have pulled out of the World Cup. Quickly, you want to give me an update from that side, because we saw a report coming through from Gianni Infantino, the FIFA president, saying he had a conversation with Donald Trump, and Donald Trump also saying he is welcoming them to come play football, and that shows that the unity that football will bring to a nation. But all of a sudden, boom, Iran saying they're no longer part of the World Cup. Quickly.
Okay, this is a political incident, and as Iran said, they are not particularly in the best shape to come play in the World Cup, although they could still have played. But I just feel that it is not something that they have on their agenda right now, because the fact they're more focused on the war, and they've actually suffered a higher number of casualties. And considering the team that is likely to replace Iran in this World Cup, I would say that I would say it should go to Iraq, because when we look at the qualifiers, Iraq was a team that had the highest number of points.
No, you're laughing. Were you expecting Nigeria to be in that position?
Is that if Nigeria should go, Nigeria can't even go, because it is an Asian qualifier. If Iran should leave, the best team to qualify or take their place should be Iraq. And then we can have the match between Bolivia and Soleimani to play, and then either of them should actually take the final spot. Nigeria doesn't have a spot or even a claim in this situation. They do not.
Okay. Honestly, I'm sure the Nigerian fans were wondering, oh God, what's happening? Oh God of creation. Okay, guys, quickly, let's look at some games before we talk about tennis. We're about to wrap up the show. We've got 3 minutes to go on the show. There you have it, the games for today when it comes to the Conference League and also the Europa League. We're going to have that displayed. Thank you so much, my producer. This is the Conference League, a big game to look forward to today. Mouth-watering games to place your focus on. Fiorentina are also going to play today. Let's look at the Europa League quickly. If you cannot have that, thank you so much. Bologna against Roma, big game. Lille against Aston Villa. Panathinaikos against Real Betis. We have Stuttgart against Porto. Celta Vigo against Lyon. Cavaros against Braga. Genk against Freiburg. And Nottingham Forest against Midtjylland. Big games to look forward to. Nuruddin, quickly wrapping up the show. Got an update from the tennis side of things. What's happening?
Yes, Indian Wells continued yesterday, and you said you're looking forward to Gaspar Ruud and Alcaraz pleased past him. Though he had a very difficult time in the second set. It took him an hour and 30 minutes to complete that, but he went through 6-1.
This man likes to go hours of playing tennis.
That is his forte, and when you want to play him, you want to wrap up the match as soon as possible.
Yeah, but it will stress you to 1 hour. What are we doing in 1 hour? Let us finish what we're doing.
The longer the match goes,
the more the stress is coming to him. Amazing, I like that.
That is why his opponents need to see him go through. And
beautiful.
In the other round of 16 match, Jack Draper was defeated, the defending champion. From Britain. He defeated Novak Djokovic. It took that match 2 hours 30 minutes because Novak Djokovic got the first set, but Draper showed why he's current champion.
It took him 2 hours 30 minutes.
30 minutes as well. 35 minutes.
That's sport now. Come on.
That's why tennis is very difficult and strength consuming. Daniil Medvedev, yes, he made a late arrival to the competition, but he is now into the quarterfinals. He defeated Marcuson of America 6-2, 6-4, and Cameron Norrie defeated Jakarta too as well on the ATP round of 16 competition. And in the draws for the quarterfinals, Alcaraz is playing Cameron Norrie, who won his game yesterday earlier. We spoke about that. Jack Draper is going to face Medvedev now. That's a very big one to look forward to. World number 11 and world number 14. Arthur Fils is going to face Zverev, semi-finalist in the Australian Open, and Lennart Tien and Jannik Sinner are going to complete the round for the men's in the ATP 1000 Masters in America.
Amazing. My focus is going to be at the final. I just want to see Jannik Sinner and Alcaraz again go straight to target.
Why are you selfish?
No, it's not being selfish.
For fans of tennis, they won't agree with you for that.
Why?
Last season,
Yeah.
both men were in front of our screens in every major competition, and this season we don't want to see that
Yeah,
continue.
but if you
The
can
last-
make, if you can make it to the
last-
final, are they supposed to drop out of the final?
the last
Come on,
5
man.
Grand Slam finals has been played between both players. Okay, I'm sorry. The last Grand Slam was
Yeah.
between Novak
Novak
Djokovic
Djokovic
and
and
Carlos
Alcaraz.
Alcaraz.
Yes.
Djokovic stopped that Carlos Alcaraz in that
Alcaraz
match,
and-
but
yeah.
I think people are getting tired of that. We want
Okay.
to see other players to spring up, and let's see what happens in the world of tennis. It's
Okay,
more exciting than seeing just 2 players come. It's just like saying the El Clasico.
Yeah.
It got to a point we got tired of that, and we want to see more things. Yes,
Okay.
they are the 2 best players on the world right now and on tour. Amazing players. He competed his career Grand Slam earlier this year. I think Sinner couldn't make it to defend his Australian Open title, but this is on the Wells one of the major tournaments before the French Open. It's exciting and it's eating up right there in America.
Right. Amazing. And that is the latest from the world of sport this wonderful